There are moments in politics that don't just shift the balance of power, they redefine it. And tonight, Ottawa is standing right in the middle of one. A political earthquake has just shaken Parliament Hill. Conservative MP Chris Dantram has crossed the floor to join Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberal government, and insiders say he's only the first wave. For months, whispers floated through Ottawa's corridors that Carney's leadership was faltering, that his minority government was hanging by a thread. But tonight, the story has flipped. The cracks aren't in the Liberal camp, they're in the Conservative Party itself. This isn't confusion. This is conviction. Dantram, once a proud Red Tory from Nova Scotia, didn't make this decision for power or prestige. He made it because he saw something rare, a leader who stands firm when the noise rises, who speaks in reason while others shout in rage. He saw a government that's building rather than blaming, leading rather than reacting.
Before moving forward, do subscribe for Parliament updates.
And that's why this moment matters. Because what's happening isn't just one MP switching sides, it's the start of a political realignment that could change the face of Canada's Parliament for a generation. Inside Conservative ranks, the temperature is rising. Discipline is breaking down. MPs are frustrated, silenced, and micromanaged. Reports describe caucus meetings that feel more like interrogations than collaboration. The once united Conservative movement under Pierre Poilievre is fracturing, and fast. His relentless attacks, especially his public swipe at the RCMP, have crossed lines even longtime Conservatives refuse to defend. Behind closed doors, moderates, the so-called Red Tories, are openly questioning what their party has become. That's where Carney's quiet strength comes in. While others play to the cameras, he plays the long game. His approach is calm, disciplined, and relentlessly focused on results. He doesn't chase the headlines, he changes them. Under his leadership, Canada has re-emerged as a voice of reason in an era of global chaos. And that's no small feat, when the world's political discourse feels like it's running on outrage and adrenaline. The truth is, Carney has built something that no one expected in today's political climate, the new Canadian Centre. It's not left. It's not right. It's pragmatic, grounded, and forward-looking. It's where economic realism meets social progress, and where leadership means delivering, not dividing. That's what's drawing in people like Dantram, and what's scaring the Conservative establishment. Because every MP who crosses that aisle chips away at the image of Poilievre's control. Every moderate who leaves sends the same signal: the party of calm conservatism is gone, replaced by chaos and conflict. Meanwhile, Carney's vision is resonating not just with Liberals, but with independents and even moderate Conservatives across the country. Canadians who once voted blue out of habit are now taking a second look at the red bench. Why? Because they're tired. Tired of polarization. Tired of performative outrage. Tired of politics that's more about fighting than fixing. Carney offers something different, a government rooted in competence and confidence. His message isn't flashy, but it's powerful: lead with facts, not fury. And it's working. New polls show Carney's approval rating soaring, nearly 20 points ahead of Poilievre. His government, once accused of being on the defensive, now looks unstoppable. Even international analysts are calling this moment a Canadian comeback, a resurgence of stability in an age of spectacle. The irony? While Poilievre promised to take Canada back, it's Carney who's actually done it, reclaiming the middle ground, the pragmatic spirit that defines this country. Inside the Liberal war room, the mood has shifted. What started as quiet talks with a handful of Red Tory MPs is now snowballing into a potential political landslide. Liberal insiders confirm that discussions are underway with multiple Conservative members, some considering joining outright, others mulling independence. For Carney, it's not just recruitment. It's realignment. He's rebuilding the political center that's been missing for decades, the place where compromise isn't weakness, and common sense still has a seat at the table. And that's exactly why this story is more than just parliamentary gossip. It's a mirror of something deeper happening across Canada, a shift in what people want from their leaders. Not showmanship. Not slogans. But steadiness. Carney has given them that. From trade standoffs with Washington to domestic economic reforms, he's turned crises into opportunities, quietly steering Canada toward independence and innovation. The kind of leadership that doesn't need noise to make an impact. So when Chris Dantram walked across the floor, he didn't just change his seat, he sent a message to every corner of this country: the age of outrage is fading, and the era of measured leadership is back. This isn't just political theater. It's the rebirth of a governing philosophy, one that prizes results over rhetoric and conviction over chaos. And if whispers inside Parliament are true, Dantram won't be the last. The tide has started to turn. More names are being whispered. More deals are being discussed. The next few weeks could push Carney's minority into a full Liberal majority, giving him the mandate to fully implement his long-term vision: a stronger, more independent Canada that leads with purpose. This isn't about party loyalty anymore. It's about belief in stability, in competence, in leadership that's actually worthy of trust. Because when even your opponents begin to believe in your direction, that's not politics. That's momentum. Momentum, that's what's driving Ottawa tonight. And it's not built on noise or headlines. It's built on quiet conviction spreading through the political class like a current no one can stop. Inside the Conservative ranks, unease has turned to open frustration. MPs who once defended their leader now whisper about leaving. They see the writing on the wall: the movement they joined for its principles has turned into a platform for anger. And in that storm, Carney stands untouched, a picture of composure. Calm, steady, deliberate. He doesn't lecture, he listens. He doesn't provoke, he plans. That's why even opponents are calling him the first post-chaos leader of the modern era. A prime minister who leads with facts, not fury. And Canadians feel it. After years of division and drift, there's a growing sense that the country has found its balance again. The tone of politics is changing. The debates sound less like shouting matches and more like problem-solving. The old partisan playbook is losing its power. When an opposition MP crosses the floor, that's a headline. But when many start thinking about it, that's a movement. Carney has done what few leaders ever achieve: he's built a coalition across ideology, region, and class. Liberals, independents, even conservatives who still believe in responsibility over rage. They're uniting behind one idea: that competence matters more than chaos. And beyond Canada's borders, the shift is being noticed. After years of uncertainty, the world is once again looking north, not for spectacle but for stability. Carney's foreign policy has been defined by independence. He doesn't wait for Washington's permission, he acts in Canada's interest. That quiet confidence is reshaping how the world sees this country, not as a follower, but as a leader in its own right. At home, people are feeling it too. There's a renewed confidence in government, in progress, in purpose. The sense that maybe, just maybe, Canada has found its footing again. So yes, one MP crossed the floor. But the real story is that an entire political generation is shifting. The centre is no longer a compromise, it's a cause. And Mark Carney is its architect. He's not just holding a government together. He's rebuilding trust in leadership itself. In an era of noise, he chose composure. In a time of division, he chose direction. And in a world desperate for something real, he chose conviction. That's why this moment isn't about party lines or parliamentary math. It's about what kind of leadership a nation wants to believe in again. Calm. Competent. Canadian. Because in the end, this isn't just politics, it's the return of purpose. And that's the story shaping Canada's next chapter.
Canada debates.